we are going to read that religious ideas and beliefs mainly during Mughal times. We know it very well that though dynasty changes, but the culture and the religious ideas and the beliefs in the society, these are going through a very steady streams of the civilization. In a very strongly it is going through the civilization, and no much changes we are witnessing unless some good impacts are there. So in India we will find that the Islamic rulers had been there, but there was a definite a culture was going on, and the flow of culture was sometimes being immune from the dynastic rules also. Sometimes some cultural exchange has taken place. So always I have told you regarding the concept, the little tradition and great tradition concept of the red field, that little traditions are also influencing the great traditions, and great traditions are also influencing the smaller traditions. Besides, before this class, we have read about the Sufi in North India, and we have seen the Bhakti movement in South, that is the Alwars and Nayanars. At that, in those, in fact, I just wish to tell you that these two classes in the last, you please revise it, 805 and 902 of the video series, 805 video series and 902 of the SAVE class. These are related to the 902 is Sufi and 805 is related to the Bhakti movement in the South. You will find at that time Alwar, Nayanars, the Bhakti movement in the South, the Shankaracharya and all those. In fact, now we are finding that Bhakti movement that continued apace during the 16th and 17th centuries. Continued apace between the Mughal times. At that time, the major influence in the north, firstly we will discuss about all those things, but first I will tell about the Kabir. Kabir is an Arabic word, it means the great. Kabir was a weaver saint, and Kabir and Baba Guru Nanak. These two are the important on which we will deliver in this class mainly. And we will also discuss, if time permits, the movement in Maharashtra. Kabir, I am showing you the photographs of Kabir that I have taken source from the Wikipedia. You find here Kabir, as I will tell you, means Arabic word, means the great. For it is an 1825 painting. It shows the Kabir in front of his hut with one of his disciples, his weaver, from the weaver community. And there is uncertainty about his death and the birth as such. It seems that he was in the 14th century or 15th century, and his influence was there up to the 16th century. And he was a poet, and it is written that influencing the Bhakti movement, Sant Mat and Kabir Panth movement, having hymns included in the Guru Granth Sahib, Adi Granth of the Guru Granth Sahib. So these are the written here. In fact, he was a mystic poet, and his verses are found in the Sikh scriptures, that is the Adi Granth. He was brought up in the Muslim weaver family. Perhaps he got discipleship from the Ramanand. Ramanand was there is no historical evidence to prove that, but as per the traditions, Ramanand was a person who has given much emphasis on the Bhakti movement by the way of his preaching. But Kabir is a secular preacher. He cited all the scriptures from the Hindus or the Islams. He was also criticizing the rituals of both Hindu and Islams simultaneously. He has told that God is one, and we have to search for the true God by concentrating, by meditation, by following the systems of meditation, and to know yourself. If you know yourself, you know the God. So this was his approach. His verses are ascribed to Kabir, have been compiled in the at so many phases in overlapping traditions. The first thing is that his verses are mainly in the first thing Kabir Bijak. Bijak is the compilation of Kabir's Doha, the couplets, and these are compiled and these are preserved by the Kabir Panthi, the followers of the Kabir, which has continued till date. The Kabir Panthi, no, Kabir Panthi are founding that the traditions of the Kabir Panthi, no, and besides we are having the Kabir Granthawali, and we are finding the Kabir Granthawali also so many his creations are there. Besides, in Kabir Granthawali we are finding that in 1548 almost, that when the Dadu, his influence was very much in the Rajasthan near Jaipur. The Sant Dadu Dayal means compassion. The Dadu Dayal, he has compiled also the similar type of literature, very much akin to the Kabir. The Kabir poem survived in several languages and dialects also. So some of them are composed in a special language, and they are basically Nirguna poets. Nirgun. There was one thing, Nirgun and Sagun, because Sagun were the disciples of the idols. Kabir was mainly telling that Nirguna, God is without any form. You can find him by only concentrating on him with faith. So moko kahan dhoodhe bande, main to tere paas mein. I am just inside you. So these are written in everyday language, and there is also one more important terminology, that is Ulta Wani of Kabir. Ulta Wani Kabir is very important to understand, in the sense that that type of things which are having the double type of, not double meaning, in fact, double and mystic meanings of that. Like the lotus which blooms without flower. The lotus blooms inside your heart, it is without flower. Means there he must be talking about some tantric and siddhi technique, that we are having the Mooladhar Chakra and the Sahasradhar Chakra, and those the lotus is there. Once the level of consciousness goes higher, then at the Sahasradhar Chakra the lotus becomes inverted. He is talking about in that sense. His meaning are very mystic. That fire ranging in the ocean means something there in the heart. In the heart you are having the fire, craving for the God. So his everything were very much mystic, and perhaps he was also from the Nath followings, because we find that there are the rituals. He always criticized rituals, but his approach was always towards the secular feelings. We find in Kabir language, Kabir Bijak, that he is telling about this in the same way, Allah, Khuda, Hazrat, Pir, what he has taken from the Islamic tradition. At the same time he is telling about the Ram, Alakh, Nirakar, Brahma, Atma, Shabda, Saguna, these all words. So we find that he is taking from everywhere. From the Sifu traditions we are getting that Zikr, we are getting that Ishq, these from the Sufi. So we just see the influence. It was a true epitome of the Indian culture what we are getting in Kabir. So his influence is still there. If you find that if we are getting maximum influence in our culture from where, it was the Kabir traditions and Kabir ideology. So Kabir ideas probably crystallized through dialogue and debates, and explicit and implicit in all the, overcrossing the dialects and the regional biases. Now we are coming to the Baba Guru Nanak. Regarding Baba Guru Nanak, that he got birth in 1469 and 1539. At the time of Babur, his influence was much more in that area. He was born in a Hindu merchant family in a village called Nankana Sahib, which is Nankana Sahib. It is in the Ravi River, near Ravi River. And the area was predominated by the Muslims. So I have also told you in one of my last class that his disciple was Mardana. He was a Muslim who was playing rabab, and that Baba Guru Nanak, he used to sing that Shabad, the Guru Bani, that which has been compiled in the Adi Granth also. The message of Baba Guru Nanak is spelled out in his hymns and teachings. This suggests that he advocated a form of Nirguna Bhakti, Eko Onkara. He firmly repudiated the external practices of the religion and he saw around him. He rejected sacrifices, ritual baths, image worship, austerities, and the scriptures of both Hindu and Muslims. For Baba Guru Nanak, the absolute or Rab had no gender or form. He proposed a simple way to connect to the divine by remembering and repeating the divine name, expressing his ideas through the hymns called Shabad in Punjabi. So these are the important words, Shabad. I recommend you that you please have a reading of that the themes in Indian history, that part 2. So Baba Guru Nanak organized his followers in a community. He set up rules of congregational worship, that is the Sangat, and he appointed one of his disciples, Angad, to succeed him as a preceptor. And this practice was followed much later, even after that. The Guru Angad was the preceptor next to him. In fact, it seems that Baba Guru Nanak didn't wish to establish a new religion, but after his death, his followers consolidated their practices. They were both from the Hindu and Muslims, and it was the 5th preceptor, that is the Guru Arjan Dev. He compiled Baba Guru Nanak's hymns along with those of the 4 successors and other religious poets like Baba Farid. Baba Farid, you recall that he was from the Sufi Sant Baba Farid. Then Kabir, Ravidas in the Adi Granth Sahib. So we find that from all the good things taken from all the religions has been compiled there. All the chants have been compiled there in the Adi Granth Sahib. These hymns are called Guruvani and it's composed in various languages. And this is the Guru Granth Sahib. In the late 17th century, the 10th preceptor Guru Gobind, he included the composition of the 9th Guru, that is the Guru Tegh Bahadur, and scriptures, and then it was called the Guru Granth Sahib. So Adi Granth was there by the Guru Arjan Dev and by this Guru Granth Sahib by the Guru Gobind Ji. And Guru Arjan Dev, that is the Adi Granth. So we find that all the good things told by the Sikh Gurus, that later on it got compiled in the Guru Granth Sahib, and the Adi Granth, up to the 4 preceptors, because Guru Arjan Dev was the 5th one, and in that all the Baba Farid, Guru Nanak, Ravidas, their all hymns has been composed there. So Guru Gobind, he laid the foundation of the Khalsa Panth, and that is the army of the pure. Khalsa means army of the pure, and defined the 5 symbols. What are these 5 symbols? Uncut hair, a dagger, a pair of swords, a comb, and a steel bangle. So under him, the community got consolidated as a socio-religious and military force. So these are the mainly 2 regarding which I just wanted to tell you. Regarding the Sikh religion, sometimes some questions are also being asked, that his confrontation with the Mughals, we see that Akbar was deeply impressed with the Sikh Gurus. And it is said that he visited them at Amritsar. So the clash began when Khusro, we have seen that at the time of Jahangir, Khusro has revolted, and at that time it was found that Jahangir had charged that Guru Arjan Dev has helped him. So it was the clash begin with the imprisonment of the Guru Arjan Dev with the fifth one who has compiled the Adi Granth. His successor Guru Hargobind was also imprisoned for some time, but he was soon set free. Now we find that the good relations were there with the Jahangir. But again with Guru Hargobind, the clash started at the time of Shah Jahan on a hunting incident. That the emperor was hunting near Amritsar, one of his favorite hawks flew into the Guru's camp, and refusal to give it led to series of clashes. So we find this thing also, that a third conflict took place, that is that two horses were of the surpassing beauty and swiftness were brought by Guru from the Central Asia. We know that from the Central Asia horses were brought, and sometimes it so happened that a follower of Guru, that his name was Bhidi Chand, he stole these horses and presented them to the Guru. Then the clashes starts. So we find that these clashes were of inconsequential nature, though, and Guru has assumed the rich lifestyle, and he was called at that time Sacha Padshah, true sovereign. So sometimes it may be the religious political clashes between the Guru, Sacha Padshah, and the Mughals, it could have taken place, but we find that as a whole in the Sikhism, all the things related to spirituality has been codified by the great sacrifices made by all the Gurus, and they are really revered. They are really have given a new dimensions to our Indian culture. Indian culture like a flower basket with all the flowers. So we find that much things that Baba Guru Nanak up to the Guru Gobind Singh, firstly Adi Granth, then Baba Guru Granth Sahib, we find all the good virtues here only, despite some political religious clash at the time of the Mughals.